viewers, you are most welcome to our channel Poetry Online. In this video, we shall be discussing the detailed analysis of So Long a Letter by Mariama. Kindly subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon to get updates on all our new videos. Once again, let us assure you of a very interesting discussion. Get ready for this lesson. So Long a Letter is a novel written by a popular Senegalese female writer called Mariama. This novel was first written in French with the title Ainsi Long Lettre, which was later translated to other languages. So Long a Letter stands as a landmark of African and Francophone literature, which received widespread critical acclaim. Mariama's So Long a Letter revolves around everyday issues such as polygamy, feminist struggle, mistreatment of women, the exploitation of women, violence against women, gender issues, the agony of widowhood, the unjust widowhood rights, loneliness and solitude, the inevitability of death, and the need for female empowerment. So Long a Letter is an epistolary novel written in the form of a letter from a widow to a friend who lives in the United States of America following the death of her husband. Readers of the novel immediately falls in love with the central character by name Ramatoulaye and sympathizes with her for her loss. This is a woman who is faithful to her partner, did all a woman is expected to do for her husband, but what did she get in return? After 25 years of a faithful marriage, Ramatoulaye's husband, Modo, married another woman and later lost interest in her. So Long a Letter begins in the country's capital Dakar, where a Senegalese woman by name Ramatoulaye decides to write a letter to her friend Aissatou, who lives in the United States of America. Ramatoulaye writes that she has received the letter Aissatou wrote to her, and by way of replying, she has decided to write a diary. The letter she decides to write is occasioned by the sudden death of her husband. In obedience to Islamic laws and customs, Ramatoulaye was expected to observe a 40-day period of isolation and mourning. During this period, Ramatoulaye keeps a diary, which she intends to send to her friend Aissatou. She begins her letter with a long funeral proceedings following Modo's death. As the first wife of Modo, and according to Senegalese Muslim customs, Ramatoulaye was expected to serve as a host to all the mourners, family members, well-wishers and sympathizers. This strikes Ramatoulaye as a grave injustice, as Modo in his final years lost interest in her and wanted nothing to do with her. Yet, after his death, she was expected to open up a house to mourners and provide food for them. Although some of these mourners bring gifts, most of them end up in the hands of Modo's second wife, Benito, and her greedy mother. Ramatoulaye continues her letter, reflecting on her first years of marriage with her husband. The two got married despite the numerous protestations of Ramatoulaye's family, who considered Modo as something of a loaf. And indeed, Ramatoulaye in her letter admits that her family members were right after all. However, she can't come to understand that, despite her formal education, she chose him over Dauda Din, an older and more established financially stable man. One thing that baffles Ramatoulaye is how her husband suddenly lost interest in her. Aissatou's marriage, like Ramatoulaye's marriage, also disintegrated around the same time Ramatoulaye got married to Modo. The two were greatly in love. However, the two lovers were from different class societies. Modo is a noble birth, while Aissatou is merely the daughter of a goldsmith. Modo's family in particular, Auntie Nabu, rejected their union. In a quest to destroy their marriage, Auntie Nabu traveled to her ancestral hometown and convinced her brother to relinquish one of his daughters, who goes by the name Nabu, for her to take care of her. Auntie Nabu took care of her namesake and raised her. Then, when young Nabu was of proper age, Auntie Nabu begs Modo to take her as a second wife. Maudo, fearing that his mother will become distressed and fall ill if he declines to marry Nabu. He initially assured Aisatu that he doesn't love Nabu. However, he went ahead to have children with her. Aisatu, feeling betrayed, divorced him and focused on her education, receives a degree in diplomacy, and moved to America to work in the Senegalese embassy. Meanwhile, Ramatoulaye is enduring her own share of marital misfortune. Her daughter, Daba, befriended a girl called Benito. Benito spoke often of a sugar daddy who bought her clothing. After a while, Benito's family pressured her to leave her education behind and marry this man for his money. Ramatoulaye was disappointed by this news. Unknown to her that this sugar daddy was indeed her husband, she was informed a few days later by Maudo, Tamsir, and the local imam that Benito would soon become her co-wife. This left her broken-hearted. Maudo abandoned her and began a new life with Benito. Despite this, Ramatoulaye decided to remain married to him, accepting her fate as if it were a duty to fulfill. Now that her husband is dead, she finds it unfortunate that she is being forced to mourn someone who in his last days on earth abandoned her and wanted to have nothing to do with her. As her 40-day period of mourning was coming to an end, Ramatoulaye receives proposals from different men, including Tamsir and Daoud ad-Din. However, she rejected them and resolved to focus her efforts on raising her children. Ramatoulaye's children are more than ever exposed to a host of new dangers from which she feels she must protect them from. While playing baseball in the street, 2 of her sons are run over and injured by a reckless motorist. She catches 3 of her daughters smoking, and Aisatu's namesake gets pregnant from wedlock. However, Ramatoulaye responds to all these problems with strength, equanimity, and poise. She concludes her long letter by anticipating Aisatu's impending return to Senegal. She looks forward to seeing her friend and trusts that, despite the physical changes they have endured, their friendship will be strong as ever. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.